off their meds as Trump lives rent-free in their heads. Our video of the day comes to us from our favorite daytime hag fest, The View. Watch Joy Behar and Rachel Maddow talk about how Trump will go after them.
He is so vindictive that he will go after, however he has to, through the IRS maybe, or even, through sponsors to get us off the air maybe, or you. Yeah. How seriously should we be taking that?
Well, so I was asked, am I worried about me? And my answer was, I'm worried about all of us. I'm no more worried about me than I am worried about everybody in the country. I think it's bad to have somebody saying, give me as much power as you can in this country so I can use it to go after other Americans, so I can use it to go after these subhuman internal enemies, and I'll destroy them. And I don't think anybody's safe if he decides that he's going to go after you or me or anybody who's well-known. You know, we have resources, we'll likely be fine, but I think there's a pattern where he picks out individual people and effectively terrorizes them.
Let's be honest, ladies. No one's gonna be coming after you two. Unless they want Rachel to be the ringer on their company's softball team, or they want Joy to open a can of Spam with her teeth. And if IRS retribution and harassing sponsors sounds familiar, it's because that's what they encourage Democrats to all the time. Look up Louis Lerner from the IRS, although that may trigger an audit. Meanwhile, on a recent podcast, model and cookbook author Chrissy Teigen also expressed fear that Trump will come after her if he wins the election. A spokesman for Trump said, not a chance, she's too fat. Oh, Kennedy, should Trump just call all of these terrific celebrities and tell them they'll be fine, not to worry?
No, Greg. No, they really should worry. And here's what they should do preemptively. We should get Amy Schumer and Joy Behar and Rachel Maddow and Chrissy Teigen, and we should get all the targeted celebrities together now and get them out of the country as soon as possible. It's the only way they'll be safe.
For safety. How dare you?
They're right. I worry about them, and for their safety and the sanctity of their freedom, they should go to Somalia, because that's the only place they can really be free.
Somalia is the best choice, I believe. So,
well, I was kind of leaning towards Bangladesh.
Aren't there a few that are supposed to go? I seem to remember Madonna was going to go, and then that gal that had a thing with 50 Cent, I want to call her Chelsea Handler if I'm right about that. They promised to go, but they never left.
They really,
What's the deal with that?
To be safe, they should all go.
You make a fair point.
We should make a list, more names.
Saying they're going to leave and they don't.
I think you're right. We should chip in. We should chip in, because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
Go fund me, whatever we have to do.
I'd have a telethon.
Same with wives.
I think Madonna was going to go, but her face still doesn't have a passport. Oh. Yeah. So they have to check the face at American Express.
You cracked him. He finally laughed tonight. I saw it. He smiled. The monologue was great. He finally laughed, though. He got you on that one. You didn't hear when he was talking about Dylan Mulvaney, he had to tuck it? Did you not get the joke? Why did you not laugh? Or what about Joe Behar? She's going to open up a can of Spam. It doesn't have to be Spam. It can be anything. It was the top. Do you understand? Do you get it now?
I'm getting them all.
Do you see why it's funny now?
Because he doesn't know that you spend 2 hours dreading what insult to your family's coming on your intro.
Sure.
That's why he's not laughing during the monologue, because he knows what's coming, and he has to keep from crying.
I think you're right.
1,001 yards. That was brilliant work by you. Don't be afraid to laugh. That's all I'm saying, Jamie.
Thank you.
Do you feel like you're in an encounter group?
A little bit.
But by the way, he makes a good point. The way Trump makes Chrissy Teigen feel, is that how your ex-wife makes you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't say in the article that she felt unwanted and had all her money taken away, but maybe. Can I for a minute talk about the interview between Joy Behar and non-binary Harry Potter?
Yes.
She looks like Harry Potter if his sorcerer's stones were removed. They made a mistake, Greg. They made a mistake because they're helping Trump, because they even brought into awareness that Trump could get The View canceled. No one had even thought of that. I think he could run on that.
Yes.
Like,
that is a play.
Like, screw foreign policy, screw, national debt. Like, you can get The View canceled, okay. And I just find it a little bit crazy. Like, Joy Behar, her exact words were like, Trump's coming for me. Let's be honest, I don't think anyone's come for Joy Behar in like 40 years.
Terrible. Tyrus, it is funny to see how they overestimate their importance in the world.
Is it funny? I mean, we used to do stuff like that when we were kids, like Holly Berry's getting divorced. Well, my phone's going to be blowing up.
Yes! That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. He should probably send you gift baskets.
Yeah.
Every one of them, because he gave them free campaigning for like the last 9 years. And he's come. What she writes cookbooks?
Yes.
They're probably ghostwritten. But he's coming for you. Why? If you didn't say that, everyone would still be going, who's that big person behind John Legend? Like, that's all they would say. Like, these people want to be famous and important. Like, there's nothing you have said or done for him to react other than, who are you?
Yeah.
What are you?
Yeah.
You go on TV, you speak in your echo bubble, and you say things about him that have been disproven. Like, thanks to you, he can say Russian disinformation. Thanks to you, he can say crooked laptop. So you are giving him all his talking points. So if anything, at the end when he is reelected, he should have somebody come out. I'm available. I'll be willing to do it. Come on a microphone and give shout-outs. Shout-outs to The View for talking about me constantly and reminding America why they hadn't needed to vote for me. Shout-outs to Rachel Maddow for coming out and playing Harry Potter. Like, there's a lot of things that we can do shout-outs for, but they wish that he'd be like, my first active president, forget the pipeline, forget the border, Behar.
Yeah. Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah.
It is a humble. It is.
I mean, really?
It's a humble brag.
It's a narcissistic cry for help.
Greg, I was here 3 weeks ago, and Robert De Niro held a speech. But part of that speech, he said, people, if Trump gets elected, he'll never leave. Democracy is over. The reason that's tough is he's already left.
Yeah.
We don't have to guess what the future. We've already seen it. And I just bring that to you because they're saying Trump's going to come after him. They're saying that Trump's going to put people in these camps, and he's already building them, and the tents are out there. I mean, these things are going on social media. It's already happened. Like, there seems to be a level of rules that we must follow, but they don't follow them.
Yeah.
There's no rules. It's not a boxing match. These guys are street fighters.
Yeah.
The Republicans sometimes aren't ready for it.
No, it's true. They actually have, the left has higher standards for us than they have for themselves. You can't do that, but we can. All right.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.